Alright, so I'm going to make another video here. One of my last videos, I tried to answer a question, how do you tell the difference between short circuit and spray transfer when you're MIG welding? And then that brought me to this point. I want to find out if I can run spray transfer off this Lincoln 210 MP. I have a couple different gas choices. My normal is 7525. Then I have 9010. And then if that doesn't work, I got another trick up my sleeve for that. So before we get into that, I'm going to answer or respond to one of the viewers that I had who told me that if I want to run 360 inches per minute, then I should be running 21.5 to 22 volts on the voltage side. And I responded in the comment section saying, yeah, it's fine if you want to short circuit, but I want to run spray transfer. So, that's not really enough voltage to get me there. So I'm going to prove that to you. I got the Fronius set up over here with the 9010 gas, and the Fronius is plugged into the 110 power. I'm going to run a short circuit weld with that, and then I'm immediately going to switch that to start to spray transfer. And I'm going to run this spray transfer off the 110 power. I'm not going to hook that up to 230 volt. I'll show you that it's plugged into 110 here. I'm not going to do any kind of camera tomfoolery or anything, but yeah, the power comes out of here, down through here. It loops back up, and it gets plugged in. That outlet right there. The outlet I have right here for my 230 volt is running down here into the Lincoln. I do have another 230 outlet over that way, but I'm not going to be using that today. I'm going to show you guys how much more powerful this thing is than the Lincoln. A lot of people try to compare these things when they're buying welders. They think it's apples to apples. It's not. This is a way better unit, even though it only costs you about $100 more. I'm not going to try to persuade you to buy this, but it is a lot better. You get a lot more for your buck. So let me change this here to respond to the commenter. We're going to be running 360 inches per minute and then 22 volts. And we're going to see how well this runs here. Alright, so we got our welder on. This is the gun for the Lincoln, so I'm not using that. I'm going to get the hood here. And I'm going to weld on this same piece of scrap metal. I'm just going to be making some other welds on it. Yeah, 360 wire feed and 22 volts. Alright, so for those of you that did not watch my last video, you can hear the bacon sizzling sound. I mean, I don't hear it as bacon sizzling, but that's how a lot of people describe that. It sounds like bacon frying. That means you're running short circuit. This is a very thick piece of plate to be running short circuit MIG on. And The weld is this one right here. You can see there's a lot of cold lap. So obviously that is not what we want. If this was a thinner piece of plate, that voltage may be correct. I don't know. But yeah, so to respond to that, we're going to turn our voltage all the way up to 28 volts or 28.4 volts. And I'm going to drop my wire feed down to 340. Just because I'm running this off 110, I'm right on that line between whether this will spray or not. And yeah, let's find out what we get here. Let's find out what happens. Alright, so if you guys could hear that, it was short-circuiting a little bit there. But I was also running up into spray a little bit. So I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see there, the beginning of that weld, it was short-circuiting a lot. We got some cold lap. Then we moved into spray, and that cold lap went away. I was also, on this machine, the voltage fluctuates depending on your arc length. So I had to adjust my arc length, but it sprayed. Like this went in spray transfer. I'll do it again here. Right there we're spraying. Short circuit, spray. I think my tip is all gunked up, but it was running spray just off the 110. Not very consistently, but it did do it. So I'm going to hook up this Lincoln now, since we know that the Fronius can spray, and that you need a higher voltage to get into spray transfer. Alright, so I got my Lincoln set up. We're still running 230 volt on that. We got the voltage completely maxed out on this at 25 volts and 360 inches a minute, which is what I found out the Fronius ran best on, was 360 and then like 28 volts. I can't get the voltage up any higher on this machine. I'm even in manual mode. Yeah, 25 volts is all this machine is letting me set it at. We're gonna see if we can get it to spray. I forgot I gotta unhook my wire here. This is my transportation lock. As I'm going down the road, this bird's nests a lot, so I slipped some MIG wire in there, and it keeps it from bird's nesting on me going down the road. Alright, so same material, different welder. We're running on 9010 gas. I'll see if it'll run spray. Interesting. For some reason the wire's not wanting to come out. I'll give it some more tension, see if that helps. I forget what wire I was running last in this thing. Okay, so I had to get the MIG gun off my the Weld Pack 180. This is the Magnum 100L. It is not anywhere close to rated for what I'm about to do, but we're going to do it anyway. I think that the drive motors on this thing are about out of it. Feels like they're getting burned up or something. I don't know, but yeah, this is like a super short MIG gun here. Yeah, we're gonna find out if this thing will spray in with 90-10 gas. So I ran a few tests. The feed issue went away with this gun on it. So we're at 360 inches a minute and 25 volts. So let's see what happens here. Alright, so we're still short-circuiting. Yeah. I'll get you in here. You can see that one right there is what I just did. Still short-circuit. Oops. Knocked you guys away there. Yeah, so that's still short-circuiting. I'm going to try to drop the wire feed. Let's get down to 340, see what happens. So that's still not enough voltage to get into spray. We're dropped down to 300 inches per minute. Try to get it to spray. Still no spray. I'll drop it all the way down to 231 and just see what happens. Oh, I think we might be getting close. 190 or 194. That's still short-circuiting. So I don't think this machine is going to get us into spray transfer like I want. At least not on the 90-10 gas. With 035 wire. So I'm going to set it back to what it was normally set at, 360, and then max voltage. And I'm going to shut you guys off, and I'm going to pull out my secret weapon here. Alright, so I pulled up my secret weapon right here. Don't tell OSHA, not very safe like this. Anyway, so that is 98 and 2. It's 98% argon, 2% CO2. This is pretty much the highest content of argon you can get while still having CO2 in the mixture. Argon, the higher percentage of argon you have in your mixture, the lower amount of volts you will need to spray. So this will, like if it doesn't spray now, it's not going to spray. So, that being said, we'll find out if this thing will spray. That does not want to spray. I'm going to drop it down to 340. See what happens. Still no spray. It's running really nice, but it's not a spray arc. Yeah, no spray transfer still. I'm just going to drop this down to 240 or 233. See what happens here. That's not helping any. Let's move it up. I'll put it at 423. See if that does it. Nope. No spray transfer yet. 500. See what happens. Still short circuiting. Maybe just 397. Still no spray, just short circuit. Set it back to 360, and I'll let you listen to this well here. It's a pretty decent running weld. I just can't. No spray transfer. It's like right there. It wants to do it. It wants to spray, but it just can't. There's not enough power in this thing. If you look right here, we were running 170 amps with this thing. I'm actually curious now about the amperage. So I'm going to turn this all the way up. That gave us less amps. Drop us down to 280. See what happens. $175. Huh. It wanted to spray right there. Hold on. Nope, I can't get it to spray. But we're running 172 amps. Yeah, it's 208 amps, still no spray. Dang machine, spend $2,000 on it, still can't even spray or spray transfer. Alright, I had to open my door there a little bit. It's getting pretty fumy in here, even though I didn't even weld that much. So yeah, the Lincoln 210 MP, it cannot run spray transfer. I was really hoping that the 98 and 2 would have done it, but it did not. For those of you that don't believe me, That's what I was running there. 98 argon, 2% CO2. And it still did not have enough juice. Yeah, it almost wanted to spray, but it couldn't. It got some nice looking welds though. Probably no penetration. For those of you that don't know, I could make a separate video on this, but the more CO2 you have, the deeper penetration you have. The higher amount of argon, you get better control over your weld and less spatter. So it's yeah, there's no perfect mixture. That's why they make so many of them, and that's why guys keep experimenting so many different mixtures. Yeah, 75-25 and 90-10 are really common in America. And the 90-10, I was able to run spray transfer off that Fronius with it, even running 110 power. This Lincoln on max power, it doesn't have enough voltage output to run spray. So yeah, not trying to convince you to buy either one of the two, but you could see the issues I had with this thing, with the drive rolls or the feeding issues. This thing has given me problems, none of them that I could not fix, but it has not been problem free. This Fronius over here, the only issues I have had with that is caused by me and my dumbassery. So yeah, and I also beat on that a lot more. So this isn't a sales video, or not trying to compare the two, but you know, just a couple $100 more. I was running spray on 110 with that thing. Can't even get spray with this one. Also, side note from the beginning, 21 to 22 volts, 360 inches a minute is not enough to spray either. You need to bump it up to like 28 volts. Even with 25 volts on this machine, still no spray. Even with 98 and 2, it wasn't enough volts to get me to spray. So yeah, if you commented, you know, turn down the voltage, you're wrong. If you want a short circuit, fine, you know, that'd work, but you need a lot more voltage to get into spray. Your parameter chart will not tell you that. Sorry. Also, side note, all this crap you see on this metal, like that goldish greenish stuff, and like the brown dust here, like that. If you're welding in a tight area like I am, all that crap is getting into your lungs. You know, for just a couple welds like this, I don't, you know, whatever, who cares? When I start welding more now, especially when I build these trailer ramps in here, that's why you see me wear the popper system a lot more now. Your lungs have to filter out all this garbage. I'm not a safety Bob, you know, I'm not some safety Nazi, as you can tell. But yeah, you do want to try to keep this crap out of your lungs. See ya.